Hello, friends. Hope you're all doing good. I wanted to quickly share our new quiz topic that we have published on our website, drivingtheory.pe. So if I just go to this website and scroll down, then we have published here the new quiz on public roads. So let me click this quiz and quickly take you through the quiz. So when I click this quiz, it takes me to a website where we have published this. And here, if I just scroll down, then I can click start and to start the quiz. So right now I'm seeing 15 questions. So there are more questions in the pool. So you can take this again and again to refresh your knowledge on public roads on this topic. So let's start with the first question. In which of the following cases are the bicycles riding correctly? So as you can see, there are two cases here, and this one is within a built-up area and this one is outside a built-up area because the built-up area is starting from here, right? You can see the car is traveling towards built-up area. Here it is already in built-up area. So this case is valid. The two bicycles can ride next to each other only in a built-up area when a car is driving from behind. So the case with yellow car. Okay, when I click this, I get an explanation. So within a built-up area, the cyclists are allowed to ride next to each other, okay, except when crossing other vehicles from opposite direction is not possible. And outside built-up area, the case with green car, cyclists must drive one behind each other when crossing vehicles and when there is a vehicle approaches from behind them, right? So in this case, the cycles must ride not next to each other, but one behind each other. In this case, it's allowed, but they must ride one behind each other if there is an opposite vehicle coming. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Which arrow indicates the part of the public road where cars are allowed to drive? So you have an orange arrow here, you have a red arrow here. So on the part of the road where cars are allowed to drive, that's the orange arrow. The red arrow also includes the bicycle lane, but on the bicycle lane, a bicycle lane is not part of the roadway, right? So you cannot really ride your car on a bicycle lane. It's an offense. So let's go on and select the orange arrow, and that's the correct answer. And the red roadway is part of the public road that's designed for vehicles. A reserved bicycle lane is not part of the roadway, just like how we explained. Okay, let's go to the next question. So we are on question number 3. Is the red car parked correctly here? So we are looking here, and here the built-up area has ended, and outside a built-up area, this becomes a place. This is an imaginary edge, and this is the place where vehicles can be parked. So the car is parked correctly here. So I would say yes. So as it says, a white continuous line, this is a continuous line next to the road on a regular road indicates the imaginary edge of the roadway. So this is only the case in outside built-up area on a regular road. But if it is a motorway or expressway, this is prohibited. Okay, so our selection is correct. Let's move on to the next question, question 4. Are you allowed to change lane to the left here? Let's see. Here, definitely not. This is a continuous line, so we must not change the lane. It's prohibited. So I will say no. Okay, so that's correct. While sorting, white pre-sorting arrows may be placed when approaching any intersection. These arrows indicate the directions the drivers must follow, right? So if it's a continuous line, they are not allowed to change the lane. Only if it is a broken line, then they are allowed to do that. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Which of the two cars, red and blue, are parked correctly here? Let's look. So blue car, definitely the motorway is ending here, which means the blue car is on a motorway, and on a motorway, parking on this lane is prohibited. because that becomes it's not a parking lane, but it's a hard shoulder or a breakdown lane. So for a blue car, it's prohibited. Outside the motorway or expressway, on that becomes a regular road. There, the vehicles are allowed to park next to the imaginary edge, right? So only red car is allowed. So let's click that. So that's the correct answer. As we explained, you can read the explanation here. It's the same thing that we just discussed. Traffic, there is a traffic ahead. Is the yellow car allowed to pre-sort here to the right lane? So the yellow car, as you can see, has switched on the right indicators and want to move to the right lane. Is it allowed here? No, because it's a solid continuous line, and there changing the lane is prohibited. The car must drive a little further till the uh, till where there are broken lines, and there the car is allowed to change the lane, right? Okay, so the answer is no, changing his offense here. And we so this question is a serious violation, which means that an incorrect answer will cost you 5 marks. So be careful with questions like this. Next. A car wants to drive to the lane on the right. At what position must the car move to the right lane? So this car wants to drive to the right lane, and at what position? Position A, B, C. So A and B, at position A and B, it's prohibited because here we have the island, and here is still the continuous white light. So the only possible place would be at position C for the car to change the lane. Position C, and that's the correct answer. And you can read the explanation. The traffic guides and islands are marked by road with white parallel diagonal strips. Drivers are not allowed to drive, stop, or park on these markings. Okay. What is a bicycle street? Cars are not allowed to overtake cycles in the street. Only cyclists are allowed to ride in the street. Cars driving at speed less than 30 kilometers are allowed to overtake. So this is prohibited, right? And this is not the case. The correct answer is cars are not allowed to overtake. And as you can see, again, this is a question which is a serious violation. It's a major offense when you overtake bicycles in a bicycle lane, and there you lose 5 marks. Okay, so you should be careful if you answer it wrongly. Let's go to the next question. Question number 9. Which of these cars are driving correctly? And as you can see, this is a built-up area starting from here. Within a built-up area, these two cars are on the right lane, which is correct. Usually on any road, this is the correct way to drive. And as you can see, the yellow car is driving in the middle lane. But within a built-up area, a car or a vehicle is allowed to choose its lane depending on its destination. So if this car wants to go to a particular destination and taking this lane will help this car, then this car can take this lane. So within a built-up area, all the 3 cars are driving correctly. It was out if it this question was outside built-up area, then definitely these 2 would have been the correct way to drive a car. So now it's all the cars. Okay, so let's move on. You can read the explanation. You can take the test by yourself and do the explanation. The roadway is blocked due to a truck breakdown. How must the yellow car drive further? So there's an option A, which says, okay, you drive on the checkered markings. We know these checkered markings are places to cross for vehicles to cross, but really not to drive on, right? So now, but this car is still driving on this checkered markers when there is an obstacle. And option B is not really driving on the checkered markers, but going to the other side of the road and then driving back. So the correct answer is option A. And let's click scenario A, and that's the right answer. And we have the explanation here. Let's move on. What is the part of the public road indicated by the arrow here? So this part, what is it? Is it the verge? Is it the public road? Is it a lane? Is it a roadway? So this is not the verge. The verge is this side, the green color. The public road is everything from one end of the private property to another end of private property. So everything is public road. A lane is here, it's divided into two lanes. It's really not a lane, but it's a roadway. The other terms would be carriageway, road. These are also the common terms for roadway, right? So let's move on. Which of these cars are correctly parked? So only green is correctly parked because parking next to a yellow strip is an offense, right? So the yellow car is not correctly parked. So let me just select the wrong answer. The wrong answer in this case is both green and yellow cars, and then it will show me, okay, that's a wrong answer and this is the correct answer, and gives me an explanation. Okay, so let's move on. Question 13, the car wants to drive to the lane to the right. At what position must the car move to the right lane? Okay, this car wants to drive to the right at A, B, C. At no positions, because this is a bus lane and you cannot drive on a bus lane, right? So the answer is the car is not allowed to move to the right lane. Okay, so let's move on. So this type of questions help you think why it's such a case, why this specific answer is correct. Are you allowed to change lane here to turn left? Yes, because you're still on the broken, you're still on the place where there are broken lines, and changing lane here is allowed. Yes. So next, no one is parked. How would you drive past these parking spaces? So as you see, this is the last question of, right? But then once done, you can restart this exam to have a different set of questions, because every time it gets selected from a pool of questions. Okay, every time you get 15 questions, which comes from a bigger pool. You drive around the parking space, you drive over the parking space. The correct answer is you drive over the parking space. This is how you must drive, and you can see the explanation. It is permitted to drive over the parking spaces indicated on the roadway. And moreover, we should position our vehicle as right as to the road as possible, right? So that's the right answer. Let's see the result. So basically, when you hit click results, you will be shown the average score, how people are doing, right? How everyone is doing. So people are scoring at, if 10 people have done, it's an average score of 4.5, and our score is 14 in this case. As you remember, we have done one wrong. So if in case you need more help, you can go to this link, and then you can see basically we also offer classes. We also offer book 1 hour focus session. And then this is the test that we are doing, right? So you can also share your results through LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. And you can also follow us on Facebook. So every time we have a new, every time we post something new, you can, as you can see, you can go to our site and follow us on Facebook. So every time we post something new, you will be able to quickly see that we have something new content or new quiz that we have posted. Okay, thank you so much and enjoy the quiz. Bye-bye.